started Mavericks stuff, but started the big elephant in the room. Your reaction to Steve Nash.
Yeah, I just heard the news, so it's unfortunate. Steve's a good person, a good coach, but I think as a coach, those are things that come with the territory of, you have to understand things can change.
You played a couple years with Steve, his first 2 years in the league and all that. How difficult is another coaching fraternity, is a small fraternity? How difficult it is when you see one of your comrades go down like this?
It's tough, especially with Steve being a young coach. Given the time frame, you always hope that it's a little longer than what took place. But I think he'll bounce back, he'll learn from it, and he'll be even better if he has that second opportunity to coach again.
And you coached in Brooklyn also. How difficult is that market?
Tough. Hopefully they'll figure it out. It's not the first time a coach has been fired. It won't be the last time. So you look at the situation, they're going to figure it out.
You, I think, touched on this in Brooklyn a little bit, but given kind of the turmoil that he went through this summer, did you ever have a conversation with him or reach out in any way, with maybe not even advice but just empathy for kind of knowing what that situation is like?
Yeah, I reached out, just told him to hang in there. It's about X and O's, being able to put your guys in a position to be successful. A lot of coaches go through that. Sometimes it's private. Theirs was a little public, and so theirs is a little different, but it happens. And again, he'll be a better coach. He's a great person, so I don't know how much better he can become as a person. But as a coach, he'll learn from this, and he'll be better the next time around.
Does it hurt even more, Jason, because you guys were inducted into the Hall of Fame on the same day?
Does it hurt? I don't know if that's the right word, hurt. You could be disappointed, but I think as a coach in any league, there's always the small writing of that you can be dismissed, and that's just part of the gig.
Do you feel, I have no idea how this works, do you feel an extra connection to him, being, you guys played the same position, went in the Hall of Fame the same year, spend time on the same team? How does that work?
Yeah, I think you talk about his IQ. He's a champion. He understands what it means to be the best at his position. He understands how to play the game at a high level. Sometimes things just don't work out. It just didn't work out in Brooklyn. That doesn't mean he's a bad coach. And again, I think he'll get another opportunity to show that he can coach in this league.
I have a question about the bench. So with Tim coming off with 20 points the other night, this bench second unit has just so much offensive power. What does it mean for you to have that? Know that they can just kind of go off any point?
Yeah, we got quite a few guys on that bench who can go big. When you talk about Timmy, C. Wood, those guys can fill it up in a hurry. And you look at what Timmy did for us in the last game coming off the bench. Some would say we have the number one offense in the league. We have a lot of guys who can score the ball. As we talked today, we got to get better on the defensive side. But it's nice to have that luxury to have multiple guys come off the bench who can score.
And when you play, knowing that when you take a breather as a starter, that you have that kind of cushion, not just like maintain, but actually could push it.
Yeah, you look at the last two games, our bench, got the lead or extended the lead for us, and that's something that we have to, embrace, and hopefully we can encourage our bench to continue to do that.
Any updates on Davis and Frank?
They're the same. Quota, same as the last time I gave an update. Doing better.
Luka has been the most efficient scorer in the post so far this season. What advantages do you see that poses for your offense?
Yeah, that's another luxury to have. Luka be able to post up, to be able to play out of the post, not just score, but be able to play make. I think that's, again, one of his strengths is being able to find cutters. I thought he did that well in the last game, and then also being able, if they're not going to double, to punish the defense by getting to the rim.
Is that something you look to utilize more with teams switching earlier in games and staying home on shooters?
Yeah, well, it's one thing that we can look at if we're not looking for the red or to stall our offense out. It's to put him in the post to be able to run the offense from there, where we can still get looks at threes or cutters for layups, or the last and first option is to look for him to be aggressive to score.
I saw you guys sent Jaden Hardy down to the G League. What do you hope he gets out of that?
Well, yeah, he's in training camp right now with the Legends, and hopefully he gets minutes and takes advantage of that opportunity.
I think you said that Jaden was in the rotation script to Sunday to the game. I think Saturday.
Yep.
Was there something you saw from him? Like, what was the reasoning or the motivation to get him in, get him his first real game?
Yeah, we wanted to get some minutes before he went down. So Oklahoma City was the game up for that opportunity, and it actually it worked out the way we scripted it. So, but we wanted him to get some minutes with the big group before he went down.
What's your take on the way Josh Green has developed this season?
He's playing great. He deserves more minutes, and we got to figure out how to get him more minutes. But he's doing everything we've asked. I don't think he's shooting 80% from three anymore, but he's doing everything that we've asked him. And again, I think he deserves more minutes.
He's very active out there. Like he's all over the place at one time.
Yeah, he's one of the guys that we believe the 50-50 balls, he's going to come up with them, and so he's playing at a high level for us right now.
Jason, you all have had a pretty spaced out schedule to start over the first 2 weeks. How do you approach practices, whether in terms of intensity or having practices or not, as a way to kind of use those as building blocks when other teams have had a lot more condensed starts?
You got to take advantage of the practice time because here pretty shortly, starting I think tomorrow, we get one more break, and then it's back to back, and it's almost every other day. So you can have an opening at the beginning, but it's going to close, and then it's every other day. So that's coming.
Have you guys been able to have, I guess, more intense or more detailed practices just given that schedule? And do you find that to be a benefit when it comes on the earlier side versus if it's like a spaced out January, if you will, and it's kind of in the slog of things?
Yeah, I think we've had some great practices. We had a good one today. But I think, too, once you get into a routine, a rhythm of games every other day, the players, I think, would always say they like that.
There's a guy on Twitter called Luka Doncic that follows Luka's stats with whatever shoes he wears and like how it impacts. Did you ever have like a go-to shoe when you played?
Oh no, that's going too deep. We didn't have time. I don't think we had time for that. We had 4 and 5, 7 and 10, so I don't think we had time to figure out what shoes were going well, and I don't think the game was followed that closely. But that's pretty cool.
How comfortable are his shoes that you ever wore that game?
Yeah, they're very comfortable. They're great shoes. If I can get a dark pair, I would wear those in game. So if you know anybody, I would like for him to know that I would like a dark pair.
Before we started Mavericks stuff, we'll start the big elephant in the room. Your reaction to Steve Nash?
Yeah, I just heard the news, so it's unfortunate. Steve's a good person, a good coach, but I think as a coach, those are things that come with the territory of, you have to understand things can change.
You played a couple years with Steve, his first 2 years in the league and all that. How difficult is another coaching return is a small return? How difficult it is when you see one of your comrades go down like this?
It's tough, especially with Steve being a young coach. Given the time frame, you always hope that it's a little longer than what took place. But I think he'll bounce back, he'll learn from it, and he'll be even better if he has that second opportunity to coach again.
And you coached in Brooklyn also. How difficult is that market?
Tough. Hopefully they'll figure it out. It's not the first time a coach has been fired. It won't be the last time. So you look at the situation, they're going to figure it out.
You, I think, touched on this in Brooklyn a little bit, but given kind of the turmoil that he went through this summer, did you ever have a conversation with him or reach out in any way? With maybe not even advice, but just empathy for kind of knowing what that situation is like?
Yeah, I reached out, just told them to hang in there. It's about X and O's, being able to put your guys in a position to be successful.